Hi guys, Lord here. I'm back after disappearing on you guys again. I'm very sorry. I've just been busy a lot. But today we will be doing some Wolfenstein lore, and we will be talking about how the good guys won the war in Wolfenstein. That was a joke. Don't at me, please. That was just a joke. I do not think Nazis are good people. But we will be talking about how the Nazis won the war in World War II, in Wolfenstein, I mean, when they didn't in our real world. But first, let's compare the Wolfenstein timeline to our real world timeline, and which is kind of like the Fallout series. In Fallout lore, the timeline and our timeline was the same one until the 60s and 70s, where the timeline split away. The Wolfenstein is kinda like that. However, if you haven't seen my Fallout Divergence video, you should go see it. I'll explain why it was a gradual divergence that began in the beginning of time. However, when it comes to when the Wolfenstein timeline diverges from ours, it's not like that. It's a very specific date that causes the timelines to split. And that is D-Day. The D-Day was, if you do not know, D-Day, happened on June 6th, 1944. And that was when the United States and British and other allied nations attacked Normandy in German France. They used U-boats to attack the beaches. The iconic, in those iconic movies, at the start of Saving Private Ryan, they use ships, tiny boats, I forgot what those boats are called, but they use them to just charge up to the beaches while they were being rained down by German fire. And at the same time, American and British planes were flying over to drop paratroopers on the inland. And in our real-world timeline, despite heavy casualties and Germany having the upper hand at first because they had the high ground and they didn't have to run up a beach, we eventually won the battle. However, in the Wolfenstein timeline, I don't know why you could hear him. I muted the voice. I guess when they called for reinforcements, you can hear the voice, even though I turned voice settings off. But anyway, in the Wolfenstein timeline, however, it's not like that. Well, D-Day is actually a failure, and that is where the divergence happens. Is that a very plausible scenario? I actually think so. I do think that D-Day could have possibly been a failure. In fact, it was probably very likely to be a failure, because, like I said, the Germans had the upper hand. They had more soldiers, they had the high ground, they had more cover. So at the start of the battle, the Germans were the ones with the advantage, and so it's not that crazy if the Germans did win the Battle of Normandy. And in this case, the Wolfenstein timeline, that is how it happens. Sorry, I forgot one important detail. In our real world, World War II goes from 1939 to 1945 with an Allied victory. In the Wolfenstein series, it goes from 1939 to 1948 with an Axis victory. So what happens after D-Day in the Wolfenstein series? Well, despite the failure at D-Day, the Allies are still winning the war until 1946. Which is when Germany finds out how to make all those cool machines that they use. However, important detail, kind of like how it says at the start of the game or in the trailer, the Germans stole the knowledge to make those technology from the Allies. They did not think of it entirely on its own. That technology gives Germany the great advantage. From 1946 to 1948, they defeat both the Soviet Union and Britain and all what's left of the Allies in Europe. And then in 1948, the Axis makes the nuclear bomb. Unlike the real world where it was the United States who made the nuclear bomb, the Germans drop said nuclear bomb onto New York, killing 3 million people and causing the United States to surrender. Fast forward to the 1960s, Italy is betrayed, invaded and annexed by Nazi Germany, and by this time, Nazi Germany controls 75% of the world, is currently in the process of conquering Africa, which takes up about 29% of the world, and the rest goes to the Empire of Japan. So, the question left unanswered: how did the Germans get their knowledge on how to make such advanced technology? Because like I said, they did not actually create the ideas of technology. They were the first to actually create the technology. However, they weren't the ones to know the knowledge on how to make them. They were just the first ones to put said knowledge to use. The actual plans and know-how to make this technology was made by the Dat Yushid, which is a Jewish secret society that makes inventions to revere and understand God. According to Set Roth, the Jewish scientist, which is a part of the Christ Our Circle, because he was also originally a part of the Dat Yushid. And the Dat Yushid have hundreds of vaults everywhere, each containing their inventions, all guarded. However, General Death's Head, who is the main antagonist in Wolfenstein: The New Order, stormed these vaults and stole their secrets. The Dutch Yushid were actually planning on to finally tell the US government about this. However, before they could, it was too late because the United States had already surrendered to the Germans. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more of my lore videos. And also, from now on, I am going to link the sources that I use for my videos into the description, because I feel it's only right that the sources that I got this information from that also get a bit of recognition. So from now on, I'm gonna be doing that. Hope you guys enjoyed again, and see ya!